an environment in which we have discussion, where we can critique one another and discuss each other's point. Someone says, well, why not do it for debates? Why not just have debates and do this? And I know for years, I have lived rent-free in the heads of many in Speaker's Corner who became obsessed with me to the extent that some of them over there made fun of my appearance, and some of them made fun of, for example, my voice, and some made fun of my lectures, some made fun of my surname. And these were, mashallah, the leading dawah missionaries of the religion of Islam. These people who I would live rent-free in their heads, where they would continuously call me out by name, and they would keep saying, let's debate, let's debate, let's debate. But then when you looked at what was taking place there, it was very interesting. First and foremost, these debates ended up just being ego wars. Because in many cases, there was a condescending tone to all of these discussions. In many cases, we found that in these discussions, there was rudeness that was on display. But the lowest thing that I ever saw was when somebody would debate someone who is not known to have knowledge, or not known to be a scholar, and then they'd make a clip and be proud of that clip. Shia gets annihilated. Shia gets destroyed. That is very low. And that is not what my aim is when I look at Taraweeh, and I'm going to look at Mut'ah, and I'm going to look at Thaqalain, and I'm going to look at Ghadir, and I'm going to look at Abu Bakr angering Fatima, in order that we're all able to understand each other's readings. You have a reading of history, I have a reading. But part of the reason as well, that in some cases you don't engage in debate with these, is because the reality is it's either their reading or the highway, or in some cases their reading and death threats. There are those who have been to Speaker's Corner, who are Sunni, who have been beaten up by fellow Sunnis. So what hope does the Rafidi have? A Sunni in Speaker's Corner has been beaten up by Sunnis. Why? Because one group believed in a Madkhali school and the other group opposed it. One group believed in standing up against oppressors. Others said you can't stand up against rulers of your time. They had a war with each other. So what hope for the Rafidi? The reality is that anyone who comes and tells you, come and give your opinion, if your opinion is an opinion that differs with them on what's happened in early Islamic history, then it becomes a punch-up, and it becomes people who are ready to gang up on each other, curse each other, and have the police, who are non-Muslims, witness us fight in this way. It's not like the ego doesn't want to debate. Of course the ego wants to debate. There's no doubt. But then what did we learn from Khandaq and that spit on the Imam from his opposition? The reality is, am I going to debate for my own ego? If that's the case, and it's all about winning, then that's far from the spirit of this Islam, where Mufid and Shahid al-Thani studied under Sunni ulama, and where, for example, Tusi was willing to look at the opinions of others in the Sunni world. That is the atmosphere that needs to be created. When I was living rent-free in some people's heads, they would sit and reply to every lecture I've given. But what was easy is that they could just sit, watch, talk. There was no crowd in front of them. Many of the lectures that I may have given on a lot of these issues where Shia and Sunni differ on are in a Shia setting where you are running against the clock to complete.